Hi guys, I'm Ronnie. I'm going to teach you some dreaded phrasal verbs. I know that learning English is difficult and phrasal verbs are very difficult because they just don't make sense. Okay, so when you look at a verb in English, you have like, for example, come or jack or beat, and then there's a pronoun with it. It gets very confusing. So just a little warning here, people, if you are not mature enough to watch this, no matter your age, I suggest you turn it off or don't share it. Yeah, how about that as an idea? If you're offended by phrasal verbs of a sexual nature, don't share the video. Turn it off. Watch another video. Watch a different channel. Do what you do. So, I'm going to teach you phrasal verbs, Ronnie style, because they're about sex. Oh yeah. So, sexual phrasal verbs. This is what makes me laugh all the time. Every day, at my work, and in my house, not my house, in my apartment, I have an elevator. And there is a voice in the elevator, and the elevator says, going down. I every day giggle, and I was like, I wish. And other people look at me and go, why is this crazy lady laughing at the elevator because it says going down? What these people don't realize, because maybe they don't have a hilarious sense of humor, or they don't know the phrasal verb to go down on someone. Going down means to have oral sex with someone. So when the elevator opens up and a person's voice goes, going down, I'm like, okay, in the elevator? Cool. So, first of all, phrasal verbs are always a verb and a preposition. So, prepositions are things like over, in, on, out, down, up, out. So, these prepositions with a verb together will have a completely different meaning than if you just have one verb. So, for example, the verb eat, we know. But when I put it with eat out, you guys think, oh, hey, yeah, guess what? I went to a restaurant last night and I ate out and I die. I just laugh because, ladies and gentlemen, if you eat out or eat someone out, it means you have or are having or had oral sex again. So go down and eat out both mean you're having oral sex. So this is why I laugh all the time. People think I'm in a good mood. I just think people say things that are funny. So I'm going to teach you some sexual phrasal verbs. First one, bend over. It actually sounds like a person's name in English. Does anybody know anyone named Ben Dover? If anyone's a fan of The Simpsons, Bart Simpson will call a bar and say, is bend over there, please? Can somebody bend over? Can somebody get my bend over? Bend over basically means that you put your body like this and you stick your bum in the air and you're having sex like that. Good job. I think you can imagine what happens next if you bend over. If your name is Bend Over, your parents are funny and probably you might want to change your name. Maybe Benny Dover? No, I don't know. Good luck with that. Benjamin Dover? Better. We also have come on. This means you blow your load or you get sperm on someone. Someone's part of their body, maybe their face, which is bukkake. Or you can come on the wall, which might be embarrassing. You could come wherever you're having fun with your little wiener there. You come on something or someone, it means you get sperm somewhere. Same with the word jizz on and spooge on. So come on, jizz on, and spooge on means ejaculation time. So ejaculate on someone means you get sperm on someone or something done. But Some of you guys might have a different technique where you come in something, like a sock. I've seen it in a movie. Some guys like to masturbate into a sock. So you would say, I came, which is the past tense, or come in a sock. So, come, the past tense is came. See? It's verbs. It's real life. It's past tense. As I said before, when people tell me that they are going to eat out tonight, I think that's a lot of information that I don't need to know. They mean they're going to a restaurant, but in my brain, and I'm sure a lot of other people's brains, eat out means oral sex. So does go down, going down. We can also say on someone. So you can say, I was going down on my girlfriend. I was going down on my boyfriend. That means that you're having oral sex. Eat out is only if you're having oral sex, performing oral sex on a woman, but go down is for men and women interchangeably. A little debate about this. Feel up. So if you're feeling somebody up, usually a guy feels up a girl, you squeeze some body parts, right? So guys will say, I felt her up, past tense, felt her. We usually use it for girls. But hey, if you want to feel up a guy, that's fine. That's your business. Another one that is probably really important if you don't want to get your girlfriend or your wife pregnant is you pull out. So pull out means you don't ejaculate inside of someone. And this is a very good method of birth control if you don't want to get the girl pregnant. So if you pull out, it means you don't ejaculate inside. Sometimes this will be in a movie like, the guy pulled out so fast, but he's talking about like driving a car. But in Ronnie's mind, that's still a joke because he pulled out too fast. I was like, oh, funny. Oh, yes. Movies are funny when they're not supposed to be. But actually, they use a lot of these in movies. That's why when you watch a movie and when a native speaker watches a movie, I'm laughing and you're not because you don't get the sexual phrasal verb. Now you do. Just let me write ejaculate again. So you don't ejaculate inside someone. The next one is to suck someone off. Now, one thing about phrasal verbs, sexual phrasal verbs or other phrasal verbs, is that sometimes they can be separated. So some of them we can put the subject between the verb and the preposition. So you can suck someone off. This means you give someone a blowjob, which is oral sex. And also we have jack someone off, which means a hand job, which means you pleasure someone with your hands. No demonstrations, please, Ronnie. We're trying to enjoy the video. So I remember a long time ago, some pop band, I think it was Blink 182, had an album that said, take off your pants and jacket. Hilarious. Because you think, that's nice, their pants and your jacket, but now you go, oh my God, that's hilarious because they mean take off your pants and masturbate because jacket means masturbate. It's the same as jack off, beat off, whack off, or stroke it. So all of these ones means masturbate for men. Ladies, we don't get any of these. We have flick the bean. Not a phrasal verb. Sorry, I'll cover that in the next lesson. And we also have one that is like a song. Get it on. So many songs. Bang a gong, get it on. We'll get that up on the website for you. But get it on basically means have sex. In so many songs, especially from the 60s or the 70s, there's a lot of censorship and people couldn't say, I want to have sex with you tonight. So they say stuff like, let's get it on, baby. And you're like, get what's on? What am I on? Who's it? Guess what? Get it on just means have sex. So, phrasal verbs are difficult, but they can be fun and they can be funny. And learning them will help you laugh at movies. And it'll help you understand why someone says, "Hey, come on, stop doing that." I just crack up. Going down?